I've been to prison planets where there's no hope for that one. I've actually weirdly been to one where it could be this one in the future if everything goes wrong, but yet we somehow solve the resource situation, so it just gets extra commercial down to the last little everything, and you're going crazy. Nobody comes back to that planet twice. It's a full madhouse, but we're so close to that, if not already there. But that one seemed impossible. Earth is the final showdown, because is Jehovah going to make a stand on every little planet? At this point, from the history of the cosmos and the different civilizations, what Earth has going is that each of us are such powerful individuals. So the balance of all the good stuff. This is where I say, bring it to a oneness. So the right wing talks about excellence of the individual. The left wing talks about we all need to take care of each other. If you put all of that together, it's not a government program with a bunch of bureaucrats wearing suits telling other people what to do with a bunch of regulations. It's communities connected to real meaningful work, and people that never, everybody gets like shepherded and nurtured through all the difficulties. And how do you do this? You don't bring it to, you can't possibly describe it before it happens. It's closer to some of the tribes of old. And now there's intentional communities. Well, there's already a lot of good stuff happening on the material plane with all this. And that's where all the spirit energy has to find its manifestation. Because if it is a spirit cosmos, the material plane is a fruit of spirit. It's not something lesser or needing to be, it needs to be healed. So we're not afraid of death and we're not afraid of pain. But we also understand it well enough to do the best we can. And, we also, whether or not any of all that spirit stuff is true, we are in a position to make this planet really swing because we have amazing talents and deep personalities if we got over our fears. But you can't just preach it. You have to make it happen. So there's people that have parcels of land. We have to try to connect people to the food supply and get to the place where people are working for their own needs. Now, to shift from the thing now where everybody's a stranger and you're working and just throwing it out there to something where it's more coherent and it makes sense, that's what's tricky. And I'm not going to be able to explain it in the next minutes. But it's a question of networked communities of meaning and sustenance. And in the material plane, what am I saying? In the material plane. In the global economy, you could have it be about many different things. And I've seen it be the level of complication around 18, 17, but it could be more, or I don't know, there might be less if you want to go just huge categories. I don't know, but it's enough to start really, and you rattle off the first few, and the first one has to be food and food production. That's why the Maha movement inside the MAGA movement is so crucial. And the MAGA movement is crucial because it's setting us free to try to get to new ventures instead of the idea that government programs are going to solve everything. Now, that means that the Kennedy Maha make it healthy. How about a healthy economy, which actually builds community and enhances family and community? It's not just about family, right wing. It's also about community. The left will bring that into play, and also respect for diversity. And so, in the market doesn't mean for profit necessarily. At this point, profit makes less and less sense. And you have to run dual economies to, there's an internal economy that's more about regrounding the resources. All those companies can have outside economy at the same time. And the inside economy becomes company credits. And that's where real money counts because they're backed up by resources, not gold. You can't eat gold. Real resources that a real community has pretty much by networking properly with other communities of meaning and resource. 25 minutes. I could ramble a little more. I'll see what else do I need to say right now? When they get too long, they get too hard to watch. There's a lot of promise in the current days, and we have to get to some projects soon. And I've already spoken about all these visions that I referred to. Other people are having visions too. I want to tell everybody that's all about the spirit energies, find how to apply that in the real world. To where we're matching how we treat the real world. There's no such thing as mundane. It's all magic, and it's all spirit infused. So how do you turn accounting? How do you turn insurance? How do you turn all these different regulations? We have a government, strangely enough, that's talking about paring back all the excess on that. And as far as the left is freaking out, maybe it's their opportunity to think more outside the box on this one. On the right,